Hi, I'm Ed Squire. I'm an editor with Project Nerd, and we're talking to you about our hobbies and collections. And I have a ton of collections I could talk to you about. I could talk about comic books and graphic novels, buttons, HeroClix, Haunted Mansion. I could talk to you about my movie prop periodical collection, Superman 3, Iron Man 2, Spider-Man 1, but I'm kind of done. But I want to talk to you about one of my biggest collections, the one closest to my heart that I really enjoy and see every day. It's my animation art collection. So most of the cells that I have are from when I was a kid, cartoons from the 70s or early 80s, or cereal commercials, mostly like Rice Krispies and this Cocoa Puffs one. Cocoa Puffs is great because it kind of tells a whole story. You know how it's the remorse of the Cocoa Puff junkie. He's here on the floor recovering from going crazy the night before. The TV's reminding him what he did. He's got that look, I'm never going to do that again. Yet here are his enablers coming in with more Cocoa Puffs. This one is really kind of obscure, and I like that a lot. This is from The Duck Factory. It was an early 80s NBC show about an animation studio in Los Angeles, a small one. And every episode had about 30 seconds of animation. So there's not a lot of this, I guess, Dippy Duck character here out there, but that's a really sweet one. I started collecting animation art in the 90s, going to the San Diego Comic-Con. And one year I found this cell, the Monster Cereals, Count Chocula and Frankenberry, with their cereal boxes. And I got this pretty inexpensively at the time, I gotta say, but still one of my favorite pieces in the collection. You can't get more iconic than Punchy winding up to give a nice Hawaiian punch. Romeo and Julie 8. This is a pretty obscure syndicated animated special from Nelvana in the 70s. They did several of them that were unique and very weird and well remembered. Chicken Boo as Robin with Adam West Batman from Animaniacs. Doesn't get better than that. This is Frady Cat, a cat with 9 lives. He could call on the ghosts of his previous lives. It's from Charles Nelson Riley's show, The Uncle Croc Show. You're not going to find a lot of people collecting this. I think that has the original background to it. So a lot of the more obscure art, it's easier to get a background for. Hungry Hungry Hippos, the only toy or game I have a cell from. Maybe 10 seconds of animation in that commercial. So that's a pretty hard one to come by. So I have this whole series of cells from Honeycomb Cereal, where these kids are taking honeycomb cereal around the galaxy to different aliens, and I don't remember seeing it ever. And I've never found it on YouTube. So that's a really, really interesting set. And up here at the top of the stairs, art from one of my latest and favorite animated series, The Venture Brothers. This is actually a cell from the process. Monarch development art, production art from the first season. I love that series. Now, some of my very favorite cells are these I have over the TV from the Archie shows that I watched when I was a little kid, very early 70s. Josie and the Pussycats, Archie, and Sabrina. When I was getting these, I sought out the music cycle cells that Archie with the guitar, Reggie with the guitar, Valerie playing tambourine, that were seen in every episode. They used those again and again and again. Sabrina here, that's a key cell from the opening credits, and all the time that's when she was casting a spell. So I find that these cells are more nostalgic for me than actually watching the show. It sort of doesn't hold up as well as memory does, but these nice bright images really capture my childhood. Now, most of the cells I have, they're on color copy backgrounds. Backgrounds are much rarer than the cells. This Archie is on an original background from the opening titles for the Archie and New Pals, His New Pals special, which in 1969 introduced Sabrina into the cartoon. And so that's the real thing. And actually, I mounted it, didn't know at the time, it was upside down. But you can see how the A's match up here to the real painting, of course. Sabrina here, a little different. I didn't have a background or a copy, so I mounted her up with an original production envelope from Filmation. This is what they'd use creating the cells and keeping track of them and the process they go through being checked to be used in the cartoon. Now these ones, they're a little hard to photograph here where they are on the stairs up into the living room, but again, two favorites. This is a single cell from the Gilligan's Island cartoon show by Filmation. Every Filmation show featured all the characters, Brady Kids, Fat Albert and the gang. They always had them running across the screen or walking across the screen, to the left, to the right, even the Star Trek show. And they did them all on a single cell, both to save money and to save cell thickness, which the more cells you have, the muddier your background can get. You have to adjust for color. But that's getting really geeky. But it's a great cell with all the characters, of course. And that's a real background with one of the huts in it, too. And this one down here, this isn't a cell, but it's probably a piece that was in a lobby at Filmation. I got this from the Filmation archives, the guy that bought them all. And it shows the founder was celebrating our 25th anniversary with Filmation spelled out in all the characters from all their series to date. So it's a pretty cool piece. Arya, what's your favorite cell?